Right.
And here we go. Thank you guys for coming on over. If you were with us over at Skipper's, we got the whip here tonight with Chattanooga Ed. We don't know who might show up, but we're glad you're here. I got the pond filling up. It's going to be a couple of hours. We're doing a slow fill because the hose nozzle is on the shower setting. That's giving the chlorine time to gas off a little more. It's breaking up the water surface a little bit, adding some more oxygen for those fish. They've been through a lot of stress today. We did get a count on the koi. We've got 16 koi, which means we didn't lose any fish over the winter or through the spring transition into being awake. They're all very friendly, very hungry, and now they have very clean habitat. So I'm going to stay up until that pond tops off. We're going to just hang out. Thanks for being here with me, so I won't be so lonely. And then hopefully we're going to get some videos. I'm working on my video content. I'm doing the shorts. I'm doing some clips. I'm doing these live streams. So there'll be some pond updates on all of those media, including long format. So that's why we're here tonight. Whip, thank you for showing up. I did a pop-up chat, live stream the night before last now, and Whip got a notification, was able to show up, but it was a cold start. So I don't know where the notifications went, who got them. So tonight I was in 3 consecutive live streams saying, hey, I'm going to do a late night live stream. So everyone had a chance to find out, and some of you have already showed up. Hello, Xanadu. Hello, Nancy B. Cheryl, thanks for being over here. And if you've got koi questions, if you got bonsai questions, if you want to talk to the panel, let me know. We're gonna have a blast. And
well, I can go live from my car.
I got Ed who's showing his phone on the screen right now. I mean, it's just how crazy it's going to get right now.
I sent the link to myself.
Well, sometimes I have to do that, Ed. It's crazy. Whip, are you muted?
Yeah, he is. It's been hilarious. He's been trying to get you to unmute him.
Muted.
I think
you're muted. You're muted, Whip. Oh, he knows it. He knows it. He's just toying with us.
Oh,
what a show!
Oh, maybe he might still be in the last stream talking to those guys, and he doesn't realize it. He probably doesn't even realize we're live.
I unmuted you, Whip.
There's you got to remember there's a green room switch over, you know. So
I know. We were still partying in the other green room, and I went live, and we were on.
You went live on it. So Skip is going to bed. He's done. So
when we were in the band, it wasn't like this. This digital stuff is dangerous. Yeah, I don't blame Skipper. And
yeah, he's had a long day, so he's just going to bed.
I don't need any fish for the auction, but I definitely want to chip in. Maybe I'll send him some art that he can auction.
And you know what? If you want to do that stuff like that, you don't even have to do that. You can just buy fish and then whoever was bidding against you, just to give it to them, you know.
Absolutely.
Kind of yeah. That's
a good way to advertise this stuff.
That's a good thing. That's part of that buffet, finding something you like instead of complain about, find something good to do.
I've done that a couple times. The last time was with somebody that Ed and I play Dungeons and Dragons with. Is Killer Kitty was playing our bidding, and then I think it just got out of her price range that she was comfortable with. So I waited till the end, and then I bid, and then I gave it to her. So I'm like,
excellent.
All right.
That's a cool move. That's a cool move.
I contributed. Everybody's happy except for the guy that I was bidding against, and
I gotta figure out this pop-out chat.
I can join you guys from
Cheryl
the car.
wants to know.
Go ahead.
You're gonna
you guys in like
Bell, right? I keep talking over you. I apologize. Go ahead. Try it.
I can join you guys in about 4 minutes. I just have to get like down the street, and then I have signal, and I can log on, and then I'll be in the car for about 20 minutes, probably, and then I'll come home. Do you want me to go live from the car, or do you want me to just wait till I get home?
And it doesn't matter. Whatever you choose to do, but pick me up a couple of tacos.
Ooh, sounds good. I might eat them for you guys too.
I
Try 'em out.
wouldn't-
Let me know how my tacos are. Yeah,
don't worry about going live while you're on the road. Just
Okay.
get
that's
there
a good point. Thank you for that.
And
Yeah.
I'll just put this in my pocket in case I break down.
All right.
There you
I'll
go.
be
All right.
back.
We're gonna
All right.
bring up Ed's replacement here.
Who came up?
It's
Hey, the doc.
Doctor.
Evening, all.
All right. So
Good
let's
evening.
see if I can figure out how to remove Ed's chair from the stream.
Well, you don't.
Long
need to
time
have
no
it.
see.
Just leave her there. It's not going to hurt nothing, right?
I don't know.
Nah,
No.
you'll be fine.
All right. He's in.
You
So
want me
912.
to say hi to the few people that made it over? I
yeah, go
can't
ahead.
tell
You
how many
want
people.
to do that, Whip?
Yeah, Cheryl was here first thing right out of the box. Cheryl Smith from CRP Hish, and then
CRP Hish.
Xanadu made it over, and Nancy B from Tennessee's over here, and then Captain McReynolds for those of you who follow Serenity and Firefly, and one more fish is here. And looks like that's it. Everybody else I've mentioned. So,
Adam McReynolds
yep, that's the captain.
and so
Xanadude.
Xanadude's not going to be here long. He's going to tap out for some tacos. It looks like.
No, he's got nothing going on. He's like Ed. He's up like all night, and then hey, there's Latoya, Lake the Land,
Lake to land.
Hey, Butter Girl.
but
Butter.
Dr. Anthony's got some really cool fish behind him on this stream. Thanks. Are those wild discus you got there?
I don't know. I got an Instagram post, so I saved the Instagram post from somebody and thought that'd be a nice virtual background.
yeah,
Do
he
you-
hates all
do
fish
they
other than
resemble
the
wild
natural.
discus, or are they a little enhanced?
No, I mean, wild discus will look like that. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. I
No,
love
they
that.
don't. They're silver.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh man, that's why they're popular. They're so
Yeah. The only ones that are popular are the ones that man has genetically enhanced.
There are some that I do like. A few of the domestically raised. I love blue diamonds, but I also like the what are they called? San Marais, but they're the red with a blue rim.
Do you like? You probably won't, which
I don't
will
like-
break my heart
I
a
don't like
little
the
bit.
pigeon bloods. Anything
Do you
with
like
those.
the one that is like mostly orangey red, but it's got the white face?
No, Marlboros? No.
No, it's not
Marlboro, yeah.
Marlboro.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's what
like-
it's called. Have you watched Ben Ochart at all?
A little bit.
He's got one.
Not really.
Whoever he got his from, he's got one out of the bunch. It's like an all one color, but it's got the white face. So
Discus Hans had some like that. That's
man,
thin
I
line.
don't know what it is
They're
about
pretty
that
cool.
fish. But woo, I like it.
Hey, we got an actual bonsai question here.
Shut
Thank
up.
you. Thank you, Cheryl. Do you have a bonsai? Well, if you've got a tree or a plant in a pot, you possibly have a bonsai. She wants to know, is there a certain substrate for bonsai? Absolutely. And she's starting a red Japanese maple from seed, she hopes. Well, good luck with that. I'll tell you, I have thousands of seedlings started from seed, and it is hit or miss. That's why I usually grab 2,000 seeds, scatter them out in a pan, and then let them overwinter in that pan in the spring, see if any sprout. You never know. But there's tons of YouTube information on how to propagate Japanese maple from seed. And let me tell you, that substrate question, holy cow, it's you want to make enemies and friends, start talking about recipes for bonsai substrate, because people get addicted and married to and religiously attached to soil ingredients. And it basically comes down to what you want to use. But like, if you're asking, what should I use? There are so many answers to that question. What I like to tell you is figure out how much you like to water your plants. If you like to water your plants a lot, you like to love them to death, use less organic substrate and more basically rocks and clay. And that water is going to flush right through there. You can water them. You can't overwater them. Then if you don't like to water on that end of the spectrum, you want to
Hey,
water
Jeffro.
less, back off on the
Big sexy.
back off on the organic material, the peat moss, the coconut coir, the compost. Don't use as much of that soil if you want to water more. Use more of that soil if you want to water less. So the maple tree itself, the species, it's tolerant of a wide range of different soils. So you can just decide how much you want to be watering that thing, what size container you're going to put it in, how much sunlight is it going to get. All of the questions that make bonsai fun, that turns a little plant, a little seedling into a pet. Good luck with that. Let me know what you decide and how I can help in the future.
Quirky Cora Works has a question for you too.
Sure. Let's have it. Where is that?
It's third one up. How much say could a bonsai bond? Oh, it's not a real question.
Oh, it's a riddle. Yeah.
Nah,
Do we need to explain the pronunciation of bonsai again? Just
not anymore. Yeah, once I started reading it, I got it.
Okay, so the Japanese vernacular, the Japanese accent, we'd actually say bonsai instead of bonsai. Bonsai is kind of slang. It's kind of lazy. But
Lazy.
I'm not Japanese either. When that word is read in English, it's bonsai. Bonsai is the correct Japanese pronunciation. So in the movies, old movies, sometimes, thanks Cheryl, I'm looking forward to that. You'll hear the Japanese warriors jumping out of planes yell "Bonsai," and so that's a war cry. And the different word is spelled BANSAI versus our plant in a pot, which is BONSAI. So we would read BANSAI as banzai. The Japanese vernacular would say bonsai. The same with bonsai and bonsai. So it's a pronunciation, tomato. I don't get wrapped up around the spokes with things like that. But just so you know, bonsai is proper. You probably won't be corrected. Bonsai, if you use it in the context of a plant, no one should be confused. So here at Budget Bonsai, there is no pronunciation police. Have a good time.
Nancy B says that pronunciation changes Cora's question slightly.
I have a slide that I give in my talk about the fishes of Cambodia, where there's two words. If you pronounce it the American way, it's much different than you pronounce it in the Cambodian way, and it's very important you get these two names correct because you'll get two different things from it. So I know that doesn't the context is there, but it's important because they're both beers, and if you say it like Americans, you get the wrong beer.
Oh, that's slightly less. The difference between bonsai and bonsai. Not quite the same in density.
Nope. So, Rack, I have a question for you before you go there. What's that thing hanging down by your face? Is that your microphone?
Yeah, this
looks like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I can see that it's a mic screen. I just couldn't tell it was a mic screen on that. Your spit screen.
I don't know if that thing works or not, but it was included and I wanted to add it to the mic.
Okay.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about the looks.
See, I don't need any of that because, it's me. I already look good.
What microphone do you have, Whip?
The one that comes with the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was a plug and play USB, and I think it was a Father's Day gift, and I was like really into going to the fish shows and things, and let me get a mic. Let me see what that's like.
My fear is anything more than necessary tends to break down on me, and I don't want to deal with it. Like even when I went out and I bought my first pickup truck, I said, I don't want electric seats. I don't want all the electric gadgets. I want AC and I want power windows. That's all I want, because all that other crap breaks down and then it costs you thousands of dollars later. So I'm kind of with the same way here. I'm not going to probably buy a mic unless this stops working for whatever reason. But I've listened to lives. I don't feel like there's that big of a drop off. And people, I know people who say, well, you need a camera. You need like a whatever the 4K camera. And I'm like, why? I can't tell the difference between the people that are using the 4K camera and the people that are using StreamYard 720. I'm looking at a screen this big.
I've changed my mind on all of that through the years. At one time, it really mattered, and I believed the algorithm would pick up on clarity of image and also audio. Now, I don't think it matters at all. I think the algorithm is a false god, and that people tell the algorithm what to go look for, that the algorithm isn't choosing people to bless. And as long as you can be seen and heard, I'm with you now, Whip. The peripherals are not important. But
really
I've changed my position on that. I once thought they were. I no longer believe that.
See you later, Cheryl. Have a
Cheryl
good
has
night.
to go.
Yeah. And
All right.
Jeffro
Well,
has a
thanks
question
for
for
hanging
you.
out, Cheryl. Thanks for coming over. We'll see you again soon. And we're keeping an eye out for your bonsai progress.
Jeffro Bodine has a question.
Go for it.
What bonsai would you suggest for indoor that is on the bigger, beefier side, not tall, just wide in its bloom?
So, good question, Jeffro. The indoor bonsais we refer to as a group as tropical. So if you do the internet search, the YouTube search for tropical bonsai, you're going to be on the indoor spectrum. And the size and the direction of growth, man, that's what you get to determine. That you have your bonsai scissors and you let that plant know which way it's going to grow. I like for indoor plants, for tropicals, I like a plant called Sarissa, Serissa, Sarissa. I like many of the bonsai ficus. So the Sarissa likes a lot of water, hard to overwater. The ficus does better when you let it dry out between waterings, less water. And there's so many in between. The evergreens, the junipers, the pines, they are outdoor plants completely. Don't think you're going to keep an evergreen tree indoors for very long. They got to go outdoors. There are a couple of pseudo trees I really like. They're probably actually succulents. The ponytail palm. I've just repotted one today that I had in the same tiny pot for over 10 years. I love those trees for indoor trees. Tropicals is your keyword. You're going to find a bunch of those. Good luck with whatever you decide. Walmart, Lowe's, all Home Depot, all of the chain big box stores have indoor tropical bonsais in stock now if you're just getting started.
I have an ethical question for you.
Oh my God. Easy on the ethics. What?
A moral question. I saw that somewhere, that some people feel when you bonsai a plant,
Yeah.
you are torturing it.
Yep.
You are, making it grow in a shape and a size that genetically does not want to do. So what do you feel about that, young man?
My feelings on that, Dr. A, are I'm giving this plant a spa experience for a lifetime. If you have a conversation with my plant, it's not going to tell you, oh my God, get me out of here. I want to get in the wild and fend for myself and be peed on and stepped on and preyed upon. Rather, it likes this dude. This dude, he comes, he turns lights on for me. He feeds me. He gives me food. He trims my leaves. He has other people come and look at me and say, ooh, that's so nice. He takes me places and puts me in shows. So I think if you have a conversation with the tree, they don't say torture. That's people saying you're torturing a tree. You're giving a tree, it's like a lottery win for the tree. And much like other plants, imagine someone saying you're torturing a tomato plant by putting it in a garden, picking its fruit, for crying out loud. So if that bothers you, stay away from bonsai. I'm not bothered by it. I think I'm doing the tree not only justice, but a favor, keeping it in a bonsai environment, propagating from it. I don't have, that's a legitimate question. This is how I processed it in my mind, in my heart. I don't have any problem loving a tree instead of ignoring a tree and letting it fend for itself in nature. And many of the trees, like, it's a similar conversation, I think, to captive bred fish versus wild collected. If I'm propagating the plant, it was not ever going to be intended for nature anyway. I grow the seed, I harvest the seed, I plant the seed. Those are my rambling thoughts, and I'm not dogmatic about it. I'm not going to say, if you feel differently than me, you're wrong. I'm just going to say, I keep a bonsai collection, and this is how I justify it. And I do not feel like I am torturing the tree.
No.
What are your thoughts, Doc? How do you address that?
I don't do bonsai. I really don't give it much thought because it's like putting any plant in a garden. You pruning a tree in your backyard, that tree wants to grow as tall as it can. So by pruning it, you're preventing it from reaching its full potential. So, pruning in some ways is no different than bonsai. Bonsai, you're just taking the extreme of pruning per se. And so it's the same way to me.
You're putting it in a pot so it doesn't have the opportunity to grow naturally in the ground. And landscape trees, they're cultivars, they're forests. They're not natural. So a lot of that going on. Jeffro, you're exactly right. If you can find snow rose or tree of 1,000 stars, they have so many marketing names. That's the Sarissa, and you'll be in good shape there. You'll enjoy working with that tree, and there's lots of internet resource help for that also. Whip, did you catch the ethical discussion?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You left, and I thought, oh no, he doesn't want to hear this, because when we talk about ethical treatment of trees, you may have gotten convicted and had to leave.
Yeah, no. I kind of do that for a living.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for your own good, tree.
I prune trees, and I'm sure if they had any kind of brain in them at all, they probably wouldn't like it, but they just keep growing. And then I got to come back the next year and trim them again.
Well, I've batch seed grown so many plants, and you start out with 1,000, and then whatever nature, the trees themselves, environment, whatever, that 1,000 becomes 100 really quick as they grow out of that small seedling stage. And it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe a batch of fish, the strongest fry become juveniles, and some of the weaker ones, they just never develop. This doesn't happen.
Yeah, all it takes is too much shade, too much cover,
Right. Any and all of the above and the combination thereof.
You can't, I don't know. I don't even consider them, they're not sentient. So, At
Well,
least
but
as
there
far as
are
we
some people who take it to that extreme. You know,
Then
Yeah.
I'm
people
not
feel
going to say
that
it's
way
good or
for
bad that,
legitimate- yeah.
yeah, that all living creatures
See you later,
have
Daniel.
some type of
Good night, Danny B.
sentiousness to them. You know, there's, I don't want to say a soul, but you know, they
No,
have
I know
feelings,
what you're
so to
saying.
speak, you know.
And I listen. I want room for them at the table.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't share their sentiment. I don't want to offend them, but I am going to keep a collection of bonsais.
But you know,
Yeah.
it also we have people who look at my screen, look at Whip's, you know, video right there. You fortunately don't have anything there, but they see tropical fish in the same manner that we should not
Oh,
keep
yeah.
these
Yeah, I mean, what's the
creatures
difference?
in captivity like this. You know,
Yeah.
and
To me, this is a 6-foot tank. That's a big tank. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Mother Nature, that's nothing.
That-
That's a drop in
yeah.
a freaking ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back to the captive bred portion, if you're keeping a captive bred fish in a well kept tank with free light, free food,
Yeah.
free hiding places, free water changes, I'm okay with it. Xanadu said he had a juniper bonsai inside. That's never going to work out well, Xanadu. I mean, I say never. You get excellent lighting and a cold room where you can let it go dormant. You can still do okay, but typically outside's the way to go. Chattanooga Ed is back, fired up
I
with
am,
some
and
Taco
I've been
Bell.
listening.
And I would like for you to try again, Xanadu. I'd be glad to help you, assist you any way that I can. And I think if you've got a window and a nice tropical plant, go to your nursery, get the tropical plant, find a bonsai pot you're in love with, which some of my friends grow for 4 or 5 years and use yogurt containers. They'll get the tree started, make sure the tree's going to make it, and then they buy a bonsai pot. And by the way, every bonsai artist that I know, and bonsai is an art, they use a pot. When they replant or repot a tree, they save the pot. Tree dies, they save the pot. So you end up with a collection of bonsai pots also. So a bonsai pot is an investment. The plant I repotted today came out of a pot that I planted the plant in 10 years ago. Cleaned it right up. It's clay, you know, like our tripods, like this clay that I've been making. Cleaned it right up. It has an indefinite lifespan. I don't think the clay that's been fired ever expires or disintegrates. You can drop it. It can freeze, thaw, and break, but it's made for a lifetime. So invest in a little bonsai pot. It doesn't have to be a lot of money. My channel is Budget Bonsai. I'm not
You're supposed to be
encouraging.
asleep, Skipper.
Oh, there he is. Thank you. Sorry about that. I thought you went to bed, Skipper.
I wanted to see if Whip was going to say it or not.
I
What did-
did.
What
No,
did Whip
I was
say?
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to come up and listen to you for a little bit.
Yeah, welcome,
I was-
welcome.
I was talking to Jeremy about some things.
Okay.
some
And
things.
Jeremy got it all worked out. Jeremy didn't make it over.
No, he's going to bed because I'm going to be on for a few minutes and then I got to myself.
Well, I'm proselytizing. I've got some people thinking about starting some bonsai, and I'm giving them some motivation. Go for it. Go for it. And I haven't got to have my talk with Doc yet about some of those tropical plants that maybe I don't even know about yet. That would be so cool in bonsai. But what I am going to do as a direct fusion of aquarium fish keeping and bonsai artistry is to grow some bald cypress seedlings in an aquarium.
Woo!
So
Yeah.
you would do it to get it started and then so you were saying about that earlier. So would you put the seed in the aquarium to get it to go?
No, I mean, I guess you could. In nature, they're probably sprouting in the swamp, but I would get the seedling, probably a year old. It's going to be over a foot tall. So you're a 10-gallon, year one. And part of the bonsai thing is, if you watch any of my videos, you trim the roots, then you put it in the pot. Well, the pot's going to be the aquarium. So I trim the roots, pot it in the aquarium, And then I'm guessing, because I haven't done this, that the canopy is only going to grow above the water surface. And I'd let that thing grow crazy. And if you had fish in there, plant's going to be super fertilized all of its life. And then at the end, I would have to be, for the sake of the bald cypress, it would need to be an outdoor experiment so it could go dormant. You'd need to let that water get cold. That said, there's probably some Florida cypress trees that never go dormant. So maybe a cold room, it wouldn't have to be necessarily outdoors. It's an unheated garage or something. The next year, I would look at the canopy as it started to open and decide if it's a 10-gallon aquarium, that's like a big pot. That's a big footprint. Nothing would have to be done, but it might be good in order to shape the roots, to pull it out of the substrate, trim the roots again, replant it. If it's already started to leaf and extend the limbs, cut the limbs back a little bit, because that's what bonsai is. Let it grow, cut it back, then it gets thicker, and the roots and the branches grow in the direction, the shape that you want them to. But that first year, if that plant would grow mostly submerged with the trunk underwater, just a little bit of the canopy above the water, it would be so much fun to start doing videos and teach people. You got a 10-gallon aquarium, 20-gallon. Well, it doesn't matter. As the tree gets taller, you can plant it in the larger tanks. It's only going to absorb nitrates. It's going to grow above the tank, I think, and look cool as hell. I just think that would be amazing to have you don't get the traditional beautiful pot, but man, what a neat way to do something different. I call those experiments that I do the avant-garde. Right? I mean, and if you call it art, it's not wrong. It might not work. It might not be the best practice, but it's energizing to me to go on those new frontiers. And
so you got me thinking now about that, because now
we're in trouble now.
Say
I thought I felt something burning.
Dude, I'm telling you. So the bigger the tree gets, the bigger the tank. But wouldn't you, because of it being outside,
not necessarily, Tom.
I learned this last time.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if you wanted to get like a bigger style bonsai or whatever, could you could get up to like 100-gallon tub. You see what I'm saying?
You don't. That's not necessary for bonsai. If you go look at the bonsai bald cypress, you don't want a lot of extra room, and it doesn't need water like fish does. So the more space that the trunk takes up in comparison to the pot or the aquarium in this case, the older and larger the tree looks. So if you keep putting it in a larger tub, it always looks small. But if you could get even reduced to a 2.5-gallon aquarium and have a good sized bald cypress in there, so the bald cypress, it begins to look huge in perspective.
Oh, okay.
And also,
is that the purpose of that? I was going to ask you that last week, and I never did.
Yeah, hang on to that, Whip. That's a big one. Yep, that's a big one, Whip. That's a big one. So, Tom, you control the size of the tree. It doesn't just grow like it does in the wild. It only gets bigger when you let it. Go ahead, Doc.
Who's Tom?
Thomas.
I know. Most people don't know his first name. He likes to be incognito.
I've known Rack for a while.
I've known Rack longer than you have.
I'm sure you have, but he's known me for a while.
Whip, so the goal in bonsai, when you're doing bonsai, you want to add age. So all the bonsai techniques teach you how to make the tree look ancient. That's your goal, is ancient.
Mm-hmm.
I got that.
Wide trunk, narrow top of the trunk, and controlled branches that don't cross each other, drooping down at the bottom, growing upward toward the top or the apex. So that's
And
in a nutshell.
and,
That's it.
and the small and the tiny little place where it has to grow it helps that happen.
Yes and no. So the tiny little place that it has to grow, in the wild, it has to get all of its food, all of its nutrients in the ground from roots that spread through the ground. They go deep. That tap root goes deep. It grows fast. When the pot, first thing you do is cut that tap root, and that reduces the rate of growth tremendously. But you are the feeder now, just like fish. So you're adding water, which brings oxygen through your substrate, gives them oxygen. You put fertilizer in your water or on top of the substrate and water over it. So you're feeding it. It's not really getting anything from the substrate. The substrate can be completely inorganic, like gravel, right? Sand. So you have to add the food, and every time you water, it gets oxygen. Everything is replaced in nature. So if you plant a tree in the ground, the bonsai hospital, if you will, is the ground. Your bonsai is not doing well, take it out of the pot, plant it back in the ground. The ground will take care of it. But the ground allows it to do these natural things, whatever, path of least resistance, depth, and uneven growth. And in your pot, everything is symmetrical and even, and you're flattening out the roots so you get a radial root base around that trunk so it looks nice in the pot. So it's a really big shift for you and the tree, but you control everything. You can't
So-
leave a bonsai in a pot and expect it to do well like you would a tree in the yard.
You know how when you buy, if you talk to gardeners, which maybe that's my problem, and you buy a plant and the roots are like everywhere in there, when you pull it out and it's just
Yes.
everywhere in there, and they're like, you have to put this in a bigger pot because it's choking
Yeah.
itself out.
Yep.
That doesn't happen? Or do you have to pull it out
No.
periodically and trim those back?
So what you find in a lot of bonsai, you do have to pull them out and trim it. You do have to do that every year, every 2 years, especially in the tropicals. So you got this pot, it's confined, definitely defined. You know exactly how big the pot is, how deep it is. These roots will grow. They'll grow to the edge of the pot. Then they'll start growing around, and then they'll start layering as they go around. And your bonsai, the root mat will actually push it up out of the pot. And it's like, hey, guess who needs a repotting? So you take it out, you cut all of those roots off, and you save just the flat roots, and you arrange them flat and lateral away from the tree. Then you repot it. Doesn't have to be a bigger pot. You may, like when you're first doing nursery stock, say a 1 gallon juniper from Lowe's, you plant it in a training pot. It's pretty good
Rip out.
size.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Then the next year, you cut the roots even more and you put it into a little bit smaller pot. And it's 3 years before you get it into a thin, nice, proportional pot that starts to add that age to the tree. So you're making the root ball smaller for 3 years. And then you let it grow for 2 years, cut it back to where it was, put it in the same size pot. And then you only want to increase the pot size as that trunk gets thicker, which is going to be very slowly after you've cut the tap root.
Yeah, because
And you're trimming.
once you cut that taproot,
Yep, it slows the growth. But then you also have a tree in a pot that you see in the forest at 60 feet tall. You've got it at 18 inches tall on your bench.
Okay.
And with one clip of the scissors, now it's 12 inches tall,
or it's dead.
So are
Many of them are that, yes.
are the saplings easier to get your form, like how you want it to curve?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. So
Viable?
the deciduous trees are difficult to wire and bend to the shape you want because their bark cuts so easily.
Yeah.
So the technique I use is to put a wire beside the trunk instead of wrapping it like you do on the evergreens and the pines. Put it beside the trunk and then take some grafting tape, which really isn't tape, it's just stretchy plastic, and wrap stretchy plastic around the wire that's beside the trunk. And then once you get those married by the grafting tape, then bend it the way you want to. So then the
Still-
wire is never wrapped around the bark to cut it.
Now you bend it slowly
Oh,
There-
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't want to do it all at once. Obviously, it's going to snap.
Yes. And the saplings are more flexible.
Right.
And so the growth, the movement you want is toward the base, toward the trunk. If you moved 8 inches above the base, you got an 8-inch trunk that's just pencil straight, no
Skip
fun.
Ray never moved 8 inches on his trunk ever.
Yeah, and
They-
so
that ain't-
already you're in foreign territory. So yeah, you want to get that movement started as close to the soil line as possible.
Damn it. Well, yeah, I'm just, because it was funny because after last week, we were talking about the stuff, right? And I started paying attention to
Yes, Xanadu, definitely.
Mother Nature, right? So there's this one tree that I saw in this field that has a natural, it grows up and it has a natural curve.
Mm-hmm.
So it bonsai itself, well, Mother Nature did it.
So
Isn't it the ponderosa pine that can kind of emulate the like in giant form?
Well, the old, like,
Is it the ponderosa?
many of those western
Yeah.
pines,
yeah,
all of them are flexible, and depending, like they all tell a story. If they're on a ridge,
He's
they
back.
get wind blown.
He's back.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I see.
I've
So
been
you
listening
got
the
some
whole time.
artistic license there, Skipper. It's over the overarching influence is nature, but in reality, you don't want a natural tree because of the imperfections that nature leaves. And in your control, you've got an ability to get that completely symmetrical root base that nature's just not interested in. What's symmetry?
Not
We're
even a
talking
little.
survival here. Yeah. The thing to do is get you about. So here's the truth. If you have one bonsai, you're going to be bored with bonsai because there's only so much you can do each season. After you repot that bonsai, it may not need repotted for 2 years. After you trim a branch, it's going to take another growing season at least for more growth. So the thing to do is to get about a dozen bonsai. And I put Big Steve Glass Box's comment up here. There's a bonsai pot on eBay right now for $22,000.
That's crazy.
Well, and imagine the tree that would go into that. So we're not talking about a dozen $100,000 trees, right? We're talking about a dozen seedlings or saplings or things you collect in the woods, or things you go to the bonsai show and you buy a little group planting of. But you get a dozen trees. So if you're going to do a root pruning, you got 12 root prunings to do, right? You got things to carry you through the season so you don't get bored. And I say that it's a truthful statement. But what happens in reality, if you look at my bench now, you don't see 12 trees, you see 100. Because you want to be able to do something every day if you want to do bonsai every day.
Yeah, because I feel if I would do one, I'd lose interest.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you'd wait. I'm not saying you'd lose interest. I think like you would almost forget about it in a way.
Yeah, so the first
Welcome to
bonsai, a lot of
where
people
we
buy,
have no-
like Xanadu, probably you buy a bonsai to have a bonsai. Okay, that's a possession. But when you buy a dozen to work on them, that's a hobby.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a little different mindset, and it's one thing to have the bonsai, to have the model, and then from that go to figuring out how did they get that bend there? How do they get that thing to look so cool in a pot? So once you understand that you can use bonsai techniques on about any woody plant, the smaller the leaf, the better you are to start with. I go through Lowe's and Home Depot, Home and Garden, looking at all the shrubs, and my immediate thought is, I can bonsai that. I can bonsai that. How would I bonsai this one?
Let me
Everything
ask
is
you something
bonsai.
weird. Because I see this kind of stuff on I think it's Instagram, it might be
Cool,
Facebook,
Steve.
where they like cut a section out of just the bark, like they very thin. They cut like a
Mhm.
square out, and then they take another species of tree or bush or whatever of
Yeah.
plant, and they marry the two together, where
Graft.
they graft it together, and then they wrap it, and I don't know how long it takes, but they do the progression real fast, and then they unwrap it, and the thing's growing. Is that something that they do in
Oh, yeah.
bonsai?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it?
Yeah. So some trees have different habits than others, and in order to enhance the tree or to achieve your preference, you wouldn't do deciduous to pine tree, but certain pine trees are closely related, junipers, others, spruces. So they have these habits where a limb isn't going to grow here and fill in, where you need this fill in on your 25-year-old tree. So you graft in a branch. I need a branch here, so I'm going to graft one in.
I seen them do it with fruit tree. I know what you're talking about, Lip. I
Yeah.
watched them do it with the fruit tree.
Fruit trees are what
Well, they
use
do it
the
with
most.
rose bushes too to get red and white roses.
The only difference in bonsai is you're doing it to get the shape.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because the fruit tree, whenever they did it, it healed quick. It was one growing season because of the sap that's in it. It helps it heal itself. It's like a natural Band-Aid.
Well, I've got a
that was
question
pretty-
about bonsai. While I was eating, I was listening, and you were talking about it almost takes 3 years to get, the root small enough to get the top looking big and old. Does a bonsai, can you go to like a bonsai show, and I'm sure you can go to a show and buy one like that's been, taken care of for 3 years, but is that
So
like
here's
a
the deal,
tremendous
Ed.
amount of money?
I can buy, yes, and it's all time and touch. So I can buy a seedling maple tree for $5 to $15 at a bonsai show, and I've got a bonsai. Or I can buy a 3-year-old tree that's been root pruned for 3 years and has been trimmed back for 3 years, and the difference will be, instead of a stick with a few limbs coming off of it, the bifurcation has already multiplied. You cut one limb above a bud and you get 2 limbs, right? Or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been cut back. So instead of a skinny tree with a few limbs, you get this beautiful mass of branches already. Well, that doesn't happen in nature. Someone has used bonsai techniques to bring that tree into a more beautiful form in 5 years or less. So the difference is that tree's $150 and someone spent 20 hours on it.
It seems like they would.
Do you want to spend the 5 years and 20 hours on that tree, or do you want to pay for someone else's labor?
Well, I guess it would matter if you've been doing it a while and you're pretty confident that you can keep, right? I mean,
Yeah.
If you're going to spend $150 on a tree, you better know what you're doing.
Well, no, it's a plant in a pot. It needs light and water, right?
Right.
And if you're watering in bonsai soil, you're going to get the oxygen in there, a little bit of fertilizer. So, yeah, you got to adjust your life just like a pet. Because if you water that thing for 50 weeks and you go on vacation for 2 weeks and decide I'm going to not water it, you might have a problem when you get back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That reminded me of my sister-in-law. She bought one last year whenever my father-in-law passed away, and she wanted to get it in remembrance. Well, it ended up passing away, so she probably didn't water it enough. The bonsai tree just died. She probably wasn't taking care. Now, is there such thing as overwater? Well, you got to have a drain hole, right?
Yeah, you can definitely overwater them. And it depends, again, like I was talking about, if you've got a lot of organic material in there that holds water, that holds moisture in your soil mix, and you overwater those ficus that I love as a beginner plant, as an indoor plant, if you overwater them, they are going to have all their leaves turn yellow and fall off.
Yeah.
And tell you, good sir, I do not like that much water. And if you don't change your habit, they're just going to check out on you.
I know,
Can you
and,
put an
and
earthworm in
I've
there
brought
with
this
them?
up before, but that taproot is important to a lot of different trees or veg. Anyway, it depends on what she had as the bonsai, because I know Rex has cut that thing, cut that taproot, but you cut the wrong species of veg, you're gonna just kill it. I mean, that's all there is to it.
It was the, how I say this, I'm going to say normal bonsai that you buy that's
The
already
normal.
has the shape and the bushing of the
Oh, so
leaves.
it was already established.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
one of those they're imported, and one of them is called it's a Fukine tree,
Yeah.
Fukine tea tree, and those are horrible. They're absolutely horrible. Difficult for anybody to keep alive. I don't even know why they would try, but they make beautiful imported bonsai with the S curve.
Yes.
Big, lots of foliage. Like, man, if Walmart can do this, it's not a problem. It's a problem. Don't get the Fukine tea tree. Get the ficus or the sarissa. This tree of 1,000 stars. If you haven't Googled that one already, it blooms tiny. It looks like an amazingly small miniature rose. Tree of 1,000
wow.
stars, sarissa. It
And
does.
you say don't get those?
Oh, do. Yes, that's the one you want to get. It takes a lot of water. You can't overwater it. I haven't been able to overwater it.
Big
yet.
Steve, I have two of them.
Oh, that
Steve
thing's
says he has
cool.
2? Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Big Steve's
So-
so big he probably can't see the
Nice,
micro
Big Steve.
shrimp.
I love
Good
it.
luck,
I
sir.
love it.
flowers.
Nancy B in Tennessee. Hey, panel, will you talk amongst yourselves? I need to do a water level check.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is a wow. They call it a snow rose tree. Tree of 1,000 stars, snow rose. That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
It's just tough to keep, apparently.
No, that's the one you want to get.
Oh, it's
He
the
said
one
that's
you want.
the one you want to get. Yeah. You don't want to get the one that he called it the tea tree or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Tea.
I thought he was saying that the one was the same as the other, like it was two different names, but the same tree. Oh no, we lost.
No,
Oh,
he was giving you examples. There was 3 examples. The one I was talking about, you don't want to get because you're going to kill it, especially if you overwater it. And then the other 2, he said they're good ones to get.
Hey, I see ya.
But the snow rose one, it likes the water.
Sarissa are good for exposed roots. I'll have to take your word for it because I am not good at plants. Water in the water or outside the water.
You're
One of
literally the
my
Grim Reaper.
one of my
of trees.
cry moments is I have a
He has a black.
I have
thumb
a
with green
what
thumb.
are the peace plants?
He's paid to kill trees.
You ever hear of a peace plant? We got a peace plant from Bubba's funeral, whatever.
Oh, the peace
And,
lily.
Peace lily, yeah, the peace lily.
Peace lily. And it was gigantic when we brought it home. Somebody had bought it and whatever. But we brought it home. That we wanted to keep that one. And it is slowly reduced down to like 2 little sprigs. And I'm like, I don't know what to do for it. I can't keep that thing alive.
I have one of them since 2018.
Oh man, see we've had
And
it
it's-
since December 20th of 2020, and it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm like,
It
oh,
keeps
man.
getting bigger, but it will not bloom again. It has not bloomed since the day my buddy passed.
You
I
probably
had
need
one of
a
those.
specific nutrient.
Yeah,
it's missing
it's
something.
clearly missing something, but I don't know what it is.
I'm trying to figure that part out.
I had one of those giant cactus that I bought in college from the botany kids. You know, they always sell plants to raise money. And it was like a foot tall, cutting from one of the giant. And this thing was huge. I mean, it was at least 6 foot. And I had it for all those years. And when I moved here, I think the humidity killed it. If that's possible. If
I don't know,
humidity
can you see
kill
that?
a cactus.
Yeah, what that is that a cactus?
That's what I thought.
That's a cactus. That came from one of those little teardrop. I bought 5 of those little teardrop things, and because I was going to grow it out to feed my tortoise, and it's like 4 feet tall right now.
I'm getting,
Multi-stem, 4 foot tall.
I want one of them snow rose plants.
That's just to confirm what Ed was talking about. I didn't mean to derail you. I was just confirming
Oh, no.
what you were saying, Ed.
Yeah, mine
They get big.
it was like real thick. It was like the ones you see on the
Yeah.
cartoons. It was cool.
Yeah.
Is yours
I
like
it.
one of those?
It's the base is probably, when I bought it, it was no bigger than my hand, and now it's about like that.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
it was this tall, you know, like one little teardrop,
So
whatever
is it-
you call those.
Is it a prickly pear cactus?
Yeah, but it's spineless.
Okay.
So
Kind of like a skip, huh?
yeah.
It can be. Oh, I can be.
I
One more
emotionally
said hi to
follow it,
you
so-
to Dr. Anthony.
Where can
Cooking
you buy,
with the Munchie Mafia official. Cooking with the Munchie Mafia official.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of words. But hello.
Cool.
Cooking with Munchie needs to talk to Sleeper. Maybe the two of them could create something cool.
That's right.
Yeah. Where's the mafia munchie available or at?
Yeah, where are you from there, Munchie? I'm just going to call you Munchie because I'm not going to say that whole thing every time.
It's much easier.
Where you what state do you reside from, Mr. Munchie or Mrs. Munchie? I guess I shouldn't assume.
Washington State. Hey,
Wow.
a neighbor of mine.
Washington.
Oh.
No, he's over there by you, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doc's gonna get hooked up with some munchies.
That's right.
And now I'm going
Washington
to shorten it even more and just call you Munch.
State. Munch. That's what I
So you can get that tree of 1,000 stars for $12.
No way.
And that's the baby flowers that Big Steve has.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can buy it for $50 already, $50 to $75 for already being taken care of. But you can get it for $12 pre-bonsai and will require the pruning to bring out all the you got to do the work.
Oh no. I'm not calling you Civvy. I'm just going to call you Munch. You might as well just accept it. Oh, we got another guy, Tim Mitchell. Hello, Dad.
Yeah, Tim.
The dog's getting lectured. He's in trouble.
Yeah, he's getting yelled at. Look at it.
Yeah.
Mama, don't yell at him too much. Don't. Oh, look, he's going to cry. Don't make the doctor cry right on live TV.
I forgot to ask him if he's down in Peru yet.
He's clearly not because he's talking to us.
Yeah, and look, he's got his discus behind him.
Those aren't his. Those are just Instagram
sure?
picture that he. Yep, he told us.
Yep. It's an Instagram picture that I just Instagram feed tonight from somebody, and I thought, hey, I like that picture. So
Yeah, sharp. Well,
are you in
those are.
Peru yet?
I like those type.
What
of
was that? Who?
Are you in
What?
Peru yet?
No, I was supposed to leave on Tuesday, but because there's a lot of stuff going on with the remodel and family stuff, so I leave on the 23rd. So
How's your we
Hey,
haven't talked about your fish room in a while. How's it coming?
it's going slow.
That's the
Oh, it's-
remodel part.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
a
even in
remodel.
Tennessee. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound right.
So
Big Steve says the problem
Yes.
with ordering them not started is you're not seeing the actual plant. They have 1,000 of them and they're showing a stock photo.
Yeah, that's I know that's what I'm looking at now. So no, that's no good.
I mean, it's not the same, but that's kind of how it is when you're buying.
when you order
drift
fish
too,
online,
right?
you know,
Or even
you
fish,
just-
yeah, right.
Yeah,
But I've ordered driftwood. You know, I'm like, ooh, that's a cool piece, and then I get it, and I'm like, that doesn't look like it at all.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna keep my eye out on them.
On what?
That's gonna stick in my head. That plant.
Oh, he's back.
That was-
apparently.
Oh, look! I thought
Yeah.
Skipper finally popped a picture of those fish.
He can't.
mean, of those
it's not his
plants.
stream.
Oh, he got
Maybe you see
the.
it.
He
Oh, look!
started.
It's starting to go.
Yeah.
and he just dropped himself. There he is. Oh, he got. That's a cool waterfall.
Yeah, so I got the waterfall turned back on. We're within a couple of inches of full. Thanks for carrying on in my absence.
I tried
If
to-
if there's one thing you can count on, it's Ed being able to talk.
All
Well,
of
we
you
got-
did a fine job.
Tim Mitchell showed up.
Tim
Yeah.
Mitchell and yeah, and so Sleeper Barbecue Grills to Gills Lance probably
do you know
let
Munch?
all of the good barbecue people know that,
Yeah.
that we're jamming over here, and it's great to have them in. Cooking
You
with
know-
the Munchie Mafia official is here. You guys need to check out some of these cooking pages. Tim
Look, I just
Tim
got a
Mitchell's here.
Cooking board.
These are actual, man. I need to look at these cooking pages.
I love this part. See how clear the water is? I
No.
mean, it's not a great camera, but you can see with the light underwater, you don't see film or filament, you just see rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, and here comes the water.
Here it comes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's my resort theme view in the backyard.
I have heard great things about this particular water feature that you have.
Me and the birds love it, and Chattanooga Ed crazy about it too.
It is. It is just amazing. My biggest regret is that I
Christine.
moved to the south side of Tennessee instead of the north side, because I could come over here every afternoon and watch it and see the birds drinking from it.
I have no
Oh,
regrets. I have no regrets.
Christine, hi. I missed you coming in. That's sweet. That's sweet.
Thanks,
Acre Court.
Lance.
Oh,
I have no regrets
Sweet
moving to
Acres
Oregon.
Koi Farm. Hey, we have got a koi farmer in the audience.
And
Yep.
who is that?
Oh, wow.
Welcome,
Oh,
Sweet
Sweet
Acres
Acres Koi
Koi
Farm.
Sweet
Farm.
Acre, yeah.
Yeah.
Christine, she's a super cool person too.
Absolutely super cool. And I'm happy to talk about the koi on my bonsai channel, and soon to be growing some, I don't know, hybrid aquatic bald cypress as bonsai. And I've got a secret project I haven't revealed that
Oh,
involves the bald cypress and growing in water. But we've been talking about it as grown in an aquarium. May have some other ideas. I may have some other videos in the pipeline. I hope you will stay tuned. Speaking of staying tuned, I don't know why, because I don't know how to do YouTube very well, but I lost 3 subscribers this week.
3. Wow, you've lost 3. Wow.
But I did it trying to grow, right? So I was trying to go forward by doing shorts and live streams and new media, and I went backwards instead. And I was scratching my head. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do.
the worst thing is when you look at a short and it says -1 subs.
Yeah,
I don't
got
even know where
over-
to look for that stuff.
I got 1,000 views on a stinky little short. It lost 3 subs. I was like, no, you 3 didn't need to watch it. That wasn't for you 3. You were supposed to hang around.
You're the people that don't like ham and spit on it.
Yeah, it's part of the buffet, man. Find something you like. I got 1,000 videos.
Christine, when
speaking
you
of
say
videos, I got that.
where are you at? Aren't you down? I thought you were down south.
Who?
Christine, she said,
Who's
"Whip,
that?
glad to see you're okay after the weather we had today." But I thought, you're not in northern Illinois, are you? Or
She's not too far south because she just opened up her koi ponds.
Wisconsin, or there's a couple big storms that hit today.
oh, we got slammed.
You are the goat, Doc.
But it was hot
No.
as hell today. I sweat clean through my short pants. I can tell you that. She is in Illinois.
short
Oh,
pants,
she's just
huh?
a little bit south of me.
Okay, near Champaign.
Yeah.
Champaign is the capital of remote controlled airplane modelers.
That's about 2
Oh, yeah?
hours south of me.
There's
Maybe
a,
not quite 2 hours.
3 inches shy. Well, I was 2 inches shy, Xanadu, and I turned on the waterfall, so I need 3 more inches. So probably about 10 minutes an inch.
That's what Whip's wife says too.
Yeah. Right. Hey,
There's just all kinds of fun.
you're
when you
lucky
start
that I'm not
talking
in
about
charge. I'd
bonsai.
fucking.
You know, bonsai is a miniature tree.
I usually
It's
I pick on Skipper too much, so he was gonna say Skipper.
Oh yeah, you
so,
moved to me.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you,
I'm sensitive.
Brack.
yeah.
So you were talking about that. No, man, the tree of 1,000 stars.
Yeah, Sarissa.
If you
Carissa, yep.
if you buy it, so if you get it and it's already shaped and everything, right?
Can you hold that
$150.
thought for a minute, Tom?
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go get one and show you. I'll be right back.
Oh, I thought.
Am I
yeah,
allowed to breathe?
Hold it right
you can-
there.
You can even continue to talk, but don't lose that thought because I'll forget.
Shit, I will too. You better hurry up, bud.
I dropped the F bomb.
So that's okay.
I'm bad at my job.
So
You're
Isaiah
going to
says he
be
has a
paying from
ficus
bonsai budgeting.
in a mini pond. Well, that's kind of because Rack said bonsai or ficus like to dry out. That's because I was thinking about doing that in my one of the big tanks that I'm going to build for the fish room.
George is here, and George would love to learn how to make a bonsai. Well, you have come to the
Hey.
right place.
You were at the right
Lord.
place.
A bonsai for his discus tanks.
I made an
Like
aquatic bonsai
in the
just
tank,
today.
like down in the water, or like
Yeah, yeah.
above the water.
No, in the water. That's I have a ficus bonsai growing out of a mini pond.
They don't
Is that
live in
a-
the pond.
Is that a real one there, Ed?
It's
No.
moss on there.
Oh, okay.
Java
That's
moss?
driftwood that he put
But
in Java.
This is
Okay.
his pinch pot, and it is incredibly small. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a thimble inside there. That's why I'm like, how? How do you get that stuff to grow
well,
without getting root bound? I'm still very much like
this
trying
is
to
the
wrap
ones
my
I
head
made last week, and look, oh, it doesn't quite fit. Let's see if another. Look, it fits in the ones that I made. That's how little this little guy is.
He's back.
All right.
Brad,
Okay, Tom, go to your
George
question,
of the
Tom.
aquatic balls.
Skipper's Aquatic. This is a ficus. It's got movement. It's got some nice leaves. If you look at it from the top, it moves that way also. It's in a little teacup that I converted to a bonsai pot.
Yeah.
And it lives in a window that gets indirect sunlight, so I put an LED grow light over it.
How
And
old
I'm
is
just-
that?
I love this is an African tree. See the small leaves? Ficus sometimes have a longer tip. This one doesn't. It's the Bert Davii species.
So,
And
Rack, how old is that tree?
this tree, what a question, Doc. I cut this branch off of a mother tree that I've had for 10 years.
Okay.
So I made a cutting of this branch, and the cutting I started in October.
Oh, okay.
So how old is this tree?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I would say from October,
Okay.
but the bark may be, years old.
Yeah.
Okay, so isn't that cool? I don't know how old it is because I just told you the story, but what a story this tree has, and it makes me so happy. But this is the ficus, which Asai has got one growing for 4 months in a mini pond. It's okay. I don't do well keeping mine that wet. I have to let them dry. But this is you're gonna like this, Skipper, or you're gonna hate it. There's no middle ground for this. This is an example of that snow rose.
He hates it.
Okay. So I bought a 1 gallon snow rose from a nursery, and this was a branch that I cut off of that snow rose. And I took a pair of tweezers and stuck it in some sand in this Coke bottle. The lid's loose, but you can see all of the moisture that stays in there.
The humidity.
Drilled some holes in the bottom so the water doesn't stand, drains out. And I've only had to water it a couple of times. And I know when I need to water it because that humidity goes away.
Wouldn't have it been easier just to cut the branch at the place instead of buying a whole thing just for the branch?
But I wanted them both. I wanted the large mother plant and the
okay.
plant. Yeah. But
What do you got it planted in, Rack?
Yeah, it is, Jeffro. It is just sand for propagation purposes. Sand holds some good water. This tree likes water. So 2 months ago, I put it in here. It is so cool. So then when I want to take it out, I'm going to take some scissors and cut right around the bottom of that sand line.
Are you telling me you don't fertilize it at all? It's just water?
I haven't yet. I'm giving it light humidity.
Light and water.
Yep.
That's
And
it.
sand in a sand substrate because these sarissa roots are very fine.
Yeah, but sand is just sand. I mean, it's completely inert, right? I mean,
No nutrients. No
there's
nutrients.
nothing in there.
But now remember, when I put it in there, it didn't have any roots. Right? So it was getting all of its energy from the leaves. I cut it off a tree as a branch. No roots. So the light was providing all the energy to grow the roots. And the sand is easy for these fine roots on sarissa to negotiate through. So there's probably roots going all over the place in 2 months. And so I'll cut this and I'll repot it in some bonsai soil and feed it. But I probably will not prune the roots like we've been talking about all night. Since this was just a limb, there's no big taproot. It was never a plant yet. So I'll let the roots grow in bonsai soil with fertilizer.
Will it eventually? I don't know enough about this particular aspect. Will it eventually grow a taproot? How does that work? Yeah,
it will. It
Yeah.
will. But it's only because now I already have it in a bonsai container. It will start one. And the next time that I do the repotting, I want a flat root system. So it's going to go.
That's when you'll snip it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what was your specific question, Skipper?
You forgot.
So if you buy a bonsai tree that's already established, like you order it from a website, or if you got a greenhouse that brings them in to sell, do you still have to do the trimming of the roots and all that other stuff, right, to keep it where it's at?
Yes.
Did you put a ladybug in there?
Yes. What you like I was talking about having a collection, Skipper, you want to do things. So if you buy a tree from a nursery that's actively growing, it's going to have some shoots that are out of shape. It may have been in that pot, it may have just been repotted when you got it, may have been repotted last year and approaching a repotting. So yeah, As soon as you buy a tree, there are going to be things to do. In a nursery, they want more leaves than necessary to keep that energy going so it looks healthy. And if they can get
Yeah,
it into a pot, they're done.
Like I don't know. I haven't looked now, but I probably will. But if you get a Home Depot, Lowe's, or someplace like that gets them in, and they're already in their pots and stuff like that, they're already supposed to look pretty. So once you get them like that already established with the shape, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you just want to continue taking care of the root system to keep it at that size. Right?
So the difference, if I got one, I'm going to start talking to it right away. Oh, no, you don't. Come here, you. We're going to do this and that. If you've never had a bonsai before and you buy one, all you have to do is give it light and water. Let it keep going. Please don't get one with the rocks that have been glued on the top. That's for shipping for the import. So as the pot gets turned, it doesn't fall out. You don't want the glued on rocks. That's not what you want. You want a loose substrate, and that tree, once the roots get root bound and too big, it'll start pushing itself up. At that point, ready or not, you got to do a repotting. You got to trim those roots back.
And
the
then
roots that outgrown the pot.
Trim it back and put it right back in that pot.
Sure can. Or you can get you a new pot that you like better. The
Right.
idea is to get it into a shallower pot. Because that's what's going to add the age, the ancient appearance is the shallower pot.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing to do is get you about a dozen trees and start making mistakes and learn as you go, just like an aquarium, exactly like an aquarium. And I said this before, I want to tell you right now, fish keepers make the best bonsai keepers. You innately, you know things you don't know you know. Because you're used to schedules, you're used to checking parameters, you're used to making corrections. You know where to go look for resources. So you're a pretty good bonsai person, even if you don't have any bonsais as a fish people.
113, you were away at the pond, or somewhere, and George from
I feel like
Aquaballs
I'm under interrogation now.
You are.
Nope.
You're trouble.
George from Aquaballs came in and said, "I would love to learn about bonsai trees. Do you know any good
Aquaballs
to go to watch a series on bonsai making?"
Yeah, I've got a series on Budget Bonsai right now of how to do a juniper. You go to Lowe's, pick it up. I was there this week, less than $20. Pick up the juniper 1 gallon, watch my series of videos. I think they're 5 or 6 minutes each. There's 5 or 6 of them, so half hour. You can slow it down, stop it, rewind it, do what you need to do. End up with a bonsai, less than $20. You got a pair of kitchen scissors, you're done. Good luck, have fun. It's already up there. And it's the same information I used to do as a bonsai workshop and art galleries all over for $50 to $75, including the plant. And back then I was getting the plants for $5 to $8 a piece. So it's a really cool thing. If you're into it, if you want to try it, go to Lowe's, buy a plant for $20, give it a whirl. If your plant starts to look like, hey, that ain't healthy, that don't look like the other plants, put it back in the ground. Plant it in the ground, water it in, keep an eye on it. Sometimes the ground will bring it back to health. Let it heal up for a year. Take it out of the ground, put it in a pot, try again.
So he has a question. Can a desert rose be a bonsai tree?
Hold that thought.
I gotta go. I'll see y'all later.
No, Skipper, you can't go. No one is leaving. The doors are locked, duct tape shut.
You've got to run the program when he's not here.
Yeah.
That's why you're the avatar.
Okay, I'm going to make an exception this time, Skipper. If you really need to go, you can go.
I do. I gotta get to bed because I'm gonna have to help get the kids up for school.
Thanks, man, for hanging out. I really appreciate your help.
All right, thank you.
You'll get
Thanks,
your
Skip.
package soon, Skipper.
Listen, I can patiently wait, unlike somebody else. Okay.
That ain't what he told
Hey,
me. He said
no-
that it's bullshit and he should have had it already.
Hey,
Well-
Skipper.
Look,
Remember
I
one
can
thing,
show you
Will.
right here. I mean, that's what he said.
Well, We will see each other this year. You might wanna be
I ain't
careful.
scared of you. I might fall right on you.
Hey, Skipper. Hey, Skipper.
Good night.
We'll see you later.
Peace out.
I'll miss you, Skipper.
Everything
All
I
right.
said was live just now.
Okay, thanks, Skipper. I'll see
You're
you.
welcome.
All right, now I'm going to go get a desert rose tree and show you that a desert rose can be.
So your answer is yes. There. George.
Well, yes, and I'm going to demonstrate it, and I'll be right back.
We'll be here.
Man, I love that background, Dr. Anthony.
Yeah,
It just gets so much better when you're even bigger.
I found it. But I was trying to see who it was on Instagram tonight. So I'm going to go through my Instagram feed, see if I can see it. It may be in the picture that I kept.
I don't
Now
know
I'm making
if I've got anything saved. Do you save up? Oh, here it is. I don't have anything cool like that. This is the best
No.
I can do.
that doesn't that's from the gem place, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think so. When I went to their website, that looked like what they had. No, I didn't see. Oh, let's see.
That's Bobo.
Bobo.
That's Dr. Mindbender. I made this to action figure. I got a Chiefs. And then somebody's, wow, they got a baby Grant in this house. I need some cool pictures.
Ed,
Oh, speaking of
greatest-
pictures,
Ed, whoop, hold that thought.
Jules,
Greatest hockey player of all time is
Gretzky.
well, I like Bobby Orr, I think is actually better, but
What
what about Skip's
Bobby Orr Bobby Orr is the only person that kept the puck for a whole 2-minute penalty kill. Nobody could catch him. And he played defense. If he would have played offense, watch out.
What about Olveski? How do you feel about
Gretzky?
Olveski taking the title from Gretzky?
Oh, is that just
Ovechkin.
right now? Ovechkin from Tampa Bay
No, well, unless I
or
got
Washington?
it wrong. I thought it was Washington. Alec?
Yeah. No, he's not.
No? He's
He's-
got the most
Oh, man.
goals of
Yeah,
all
but-
time. He passed
Yeah, but-
Gretzky.
Gretzky
Same
probably has
amount of
twice
time.
as many assists.
That I don't know. I didn't look that up.
And I'd like to know their years, but Gretzky at the end was like getting 199 assists and 35 goals. He was insane.
Years, they were about the same. They're almost identical as far as years go.
But I mean, Ovechkin's also getting an extra 10 games a season than Gretzky got.
Okay.
Hey,
Maybe 14 games more.
Hey, did I mention that I posted a short on YouTube and it got over 1,000 views and I lost 3?
Yeah.
That short was me planting a desert rose seed in a tripod. So everyone, we've talked about the tripod. Go back and watch if you missed it. I'm doing an international collaboration with Bonsai YouTube community. I've made tripods at the pottery, send them to bonsai artists. They're using them. Here is what that short became. This is a desert rose.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. So that video did not deserve to lose 3 subscribers. And
Well-
so you can use desert rose as a bonsai. Here's what they look like in a tripod. And you remember, I also mentioned you may want to do a collection instead of just one. So when I planted that seed in a tripod, I also planted some others. So I've got a little desert rose forest.
Nice.
Is this it?
Yep. Lost 3 subscribers. Yeah. So this thing, this is a 4-inch plant right now, planted from seed. There's a video, and this is a pie container from a restaurant, a dessert container. So when I planted those, I put the lid back on it for humidity, and these sprouted in 3 days. This one sprouted in 1 day. So that desert rose seed went quickly. And the reason I don't recommend this heavily as a beginner is because it's toxic. This plant is toxic. You don't want to eat it. You don't want to touch the sap. You don't want your pets into it. But if you can keep an eye on it and keep it safe, it's a beautiful bonsai. And
How
these
do you
are
sub
sprouted just a few weeks ago.
Those are awesome. That's
That's it.
a lot of growth for 3 weeks.
Isn't that? I mean, and it sprouted in 1 day. It was so cool. For people like me with no patience, that's the one you want.
For sure.
How do you unsub? I don't even see where you can unsub from it.
Well,
Well,
so-
you watch it, and you're like, I'm not interested in this, and you go to the main page and you unsub.
I don't know. Or sometimes, YouTube just flushes, they take away views and subs like, yeah, you didn't need those.
Oh, no.
Electric boats before summer is here.
I was going to unsub from it and then resub on a different one. So you get 4 unsubs on it. But I can't figure out how to unsub from it.
In a sense, they could. What do you think, Xanadu? They look like a mini baobab? I mean, I think so. Nigel Saunders is a YouTube artist, bonsai artist. He has over 200,000 subs. He's been doing YouTube I've been watching him for 15 years. And he went to Africa to see the baobabs. Thanks, Ed. And
Cool looking.
yeah, he takes a lot of inspiration from those trees. And that ficus I showed you, the Bert Davii, also makes a good baobab shape. The mother tree, you have to go to my YouTube channel to see it. And that tree is 10 years old. I kept in a 4-inch pot for 10 years. Didn't style it. It looked like dog doo-doo. But when I finally cut it and took, 90 cuttings and 85 of them struck, I was giving away ficus like you wouldn't believe. So now I have that mother tree. It's becoming a bonsai. I'm shaping it finally. And the root, the trunk is probably 2.5 inches at the base now. When I got it, it was a tiny little pencil and tapered toward the top. It's a 10-year tree, and 5 to 10 years is what it takes to get that tapered trunk you're looking for. And I have very few trees that have made it through my care of bonsai keeping. And I super enjoy starting from seed and buying nursery stock and doing the pre-bonsai. That's another argument. I use bonsai if it's a plant in a pot and you're doing these ancient techniques. It's bonsai. Others would argue it's not a bonsai until it's a finished bonsai ready to go on a show. Okay, that's true also. No need to argue. Tim Mitchell says you hit the bell. That gives you 4 options, one of which is unsubscribed. Yeah, well,
I already hit his bell, so I don't.
I
get
wish
that
the world
option
didn't
either.
know that about my bell, but apparently they do. Aquaballs
I tell you
definitely
what.
wants some. Hey, good luck, Aquaballs. I'll help you any way that I can. I do have several videos up that are beginner friendly. And if I don't have a video and you contact me, I can probably direct you to someone that has a video. Yeah, Sleeper Barbecue Grills to Gills, Lance commented on it. Thank you, sir. He's such a good contributor. This guy is he's the missionary from the cooking group to the fish group. So the barbecue to aquarium keepers combo. We got lots of cookers in here tonight because of, I give Lance the credit. He says he didn't do it. He did it. He did it on purpose. He said, hey, I have these passions. Maybe somebody else has both of these passions, and he's bringing us together. Thanks for that, Lance. Ed has done that with art and crafts. Hallelujah.
Lance needs to get one of these.
Look at that.
Just a sniff.
Lance,
It's
look at
amazing.
that, Lance. Hang on. Let me make Ed larger. How many times is it
My-
going to take me?
My
One,
girlfriend. Oh.
2, 3.
Three.
Oh,
4.
you're making me feel good about myself.
Ed, no one is as good as you, Ed. No one. I don't even know how you did it, Ed. How'd you do it?
Okay, find that one where we're all on the side, but you. You had it a minute ago. There you go. And now take your little hand. Nope. Go take your hand and click me, and pull me across to your spot. There you go.
Hey!
She told me that means French grill master or something like that. Those words.
Casa de los Grill Jardín, House of the Grill.
House of the Grill Master Chaka.
Yep.
This thing smells so good. I don't know if it's made of some type of a fruit wood or what, but it's just amazing. It smells like hickory, maybe. Maybe it's from hickory. Oh, man. That was very sweet of her.
Or very hickory of her.
Yeah. And Dr. Anthony, I'm dead serious. When I used to grill all the time at my house, here we have gas, and it's disappointing. But I would always put some type of fruit tree or hickory
Lance
in
did it.
with it. Oh my gosh, I think it made it so much better flavors.
Is Aquaballs George and
Yes.
is George Jorge?
No.
Okay.
Jorge is Mexicali fish keeper. Aquaballs is George.
But
Jorge
George is
Mexico-
spelled with a J for Aquaballs?
The
I don't
G.
think. He's a G.
Aquaballs is G. George.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Jeffro's comment confused me there, but I got it now. Aquaballs
Yep.
is George.
See you later, Christine.
Was Christine leaving?
I
Thank
look
you
like-
so much for
Night,
dropping
Christine.
in, Christine. I really appreciate
See
you being here.
Christine.
I look forward to your next stream as well. I'll get you some more video on the koi. Thanks.
So
Now,
Jorge Mexicali fish keeper lives in Arizona. George lives outside of LA.
and George Aquaballs is a crazy good griller. I've seen him grill some crazy good food.
Okay.
I think he's Mediterranean. Is that
Ooh,
you
that's
get
a
like
good
really
food
good
group.
cooking from that area of the world?
That's one of my favorite food groups, Mediterranean.
Oh my
I
gosh, his
believe
food.
he is
I wish he owned a restaurant.
Turkish.
I'd go to it all the time.
Here's a goal
Turkish,
for
okay.
you, Ed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it?
Sleeper Barbecue has 7 or 8 cutting boards.
Well, I have. This is one that's going to go on the wall, and then she gave me one like a year ago that has like her favorite song on it. So I have 2, but I never sniffed it. I just put that down in my kitchen in my area, in my house area.
But now you've sniffed it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go sniff it when I go down there tonight. But this one, I'm thinking about leaving it in my mom and dad's kitchen.
I wish
That
I
way we
would've
have
done
them in
that.
2 kitchens.
Oh, Armenian. Yes, sorry. Yes. Ooh, that's a very bad faux pas. I am sorry about that, George. Ooh,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not Turkish, but Armenian.
Yes. That's
Okay.
who-
Yeah.
that's
Let's get that squared away.
that's really bad to say. So So sorry.
Well, my pond is full. We've been going an hour and 34 minutes. We've got the best panel on earth.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for showing up and helping me out, making me look good. I hope we can do this again.
That's how bad we are. We make you look good.
Well, I mean, you guys are pretty fantastic, and you're well known around YouTube as being an outstanding show. So I'm always honored to be a part of any stage that you're a part of. And Ed and Whip, you got things in the mail, so let me know that you get those. Okay, make videos if you want to. I'll share them on my channel. And anytime you've got an open slot in your panel, I'm happy to participate with you guys as well.
Awesome possum.
Whip, you got anything you want to say before we go?
Nope. Check out Saturday if I have time. I will go. I will go live, hopefully with Ed, and we'll see you when we get there.
All right, Doc, you got anything?
Yeah, I have a good morality story from the last one. Friends don't let friends buy fish drunk.
Do they not? Do they
I think
not?
that's directed at me.
I've seen that a lot.
Oh, we must not have friends then.
Ugh. If you didn't do that at a convention, they might kick me out of the convention.
Yeah. That's why they always have happy hour right before big auctions at conventions.
Your turn, Ed. Go ahead.
Well, I learned a good lesson. Life is like a buffet. If there's something you don't like, don't spit on the bacon.
Love it.
I didn't quite say it right.
Yeah. Keep working on it, Ed. You got a working model there. Let it come to you. And I'll say, I'll address Xanadu's question. Budget Bonsai, which of your playlists should we start with? And I would say go to because even regardless of the species, a lot of the techniques are the same. Go to the series of videos on beginner bonsai. There's 5 videos on beginner bonsai how to. It's free. You'll learn some things. It's really fun if you go buy a tree and play along. It's really okay just to watch. I think it's good quality content for you to enjoy. It'll give you some bonsai information. Also, we got a fish. Skipper's got a fish. He's not here, but he's going to do an auction. Is that Saturday?
Saturday, yes.
Skipper's Aquatics. Stay tuned. Saturday, there's going to be an auction. Is that a benefit auction?
No, Skipper's
I don't think
Aquarium.
so. Just to benefit the fish keepers that
The
we
sellers, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't collect anything. He's just
Okay, so he's
like
not doing this for
charity.
profit. He's helping
No,
out others.
He
Okay.
never does on any of them. So
Check out Skipper's. Very benevolent and an extreme effort to bring you an auction on Saturday. So thank all of you guys for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Leave questions in the comment after this thing gets posted up to YouTube, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. And I hope we can do it again sometime. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
thanks for the invitation, Rack. See you guys later.